All right, so the assignment is very, 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 very simple. Okay, so if you followed the instructions, okay, you will not find some difficulties, except some one or two difficulties. All right, so let's get on it and see. So first of all, let's create a contract. So let's call this contract my movie. Should I? Sorry, excuse me. All right, so let's create a contract. Let's call this contract um my all right, my movie. All right, so you can name your contract anything, but it should be related to what you are doing in the contract, okay? So it said that we should create a unique data type as a struct, call it movie, and give it a string property name and director. So we know how to do this here. So this is supposed not to be a challenge. So just create a struct, yeah, and then they say we should call it movie and give it. So give it string name and string director. All right, so believe everybody got it to this side, to this point, whether you've watched the YouTube video or not. You should be able to write struct. All right. So it said we should create a map and call it movie, which takes in uint as the key and the struct movie as the value. So we should create mapping, which takes what uint as the key, which is sign integer, and then take our struct movie as the value. All right, so we're going to call this one movie our according to our assignment. All right, so we said we should create a function add movie which takes three inputs: movie ID, title, and director. Um, director name, which assigns a value of an integer to a movie added to the movie map. It should include a title and director name. All right, so let's do that quickly. So let's do that quickly. We said that we should write a function. So this function is going to be, this function is going to be called add movie. All right. And so this add movie is going to have inputs, three inputs: movie ID, So when you say movie ID is definitely going to be number, yeah. So we are going to say movie ID is number. So we are going to say uint and movie ID. Let me give it an underscore so we know that it's an input. Okay, so the next one is title. So title is going to be string memory, and title, and the last one is going to be string memory, and then um director name. So I will have director name. Okay, so we said that integer value it should include title name. All right, so let's make this guy public. We are not doing anything here, so we just go right on it. All right, so what do we do here? All right, so we are adding we are getting these guys. We are going to say that we are going to we are going to assign a value of an integer to a movie added integer to a movie added to the movie map. It should include title and director name. All right, so what does that mean? It simply means that we should map the movie ID to the we should map this guy. Where am I going? Sorry. We should map this guy, this movie ID now, which is this uint, to struct. All right. So you see that we've gotten 3 inputs here, but we came here and added this guy. All right. So since we are mapping this to this, so how are we going to write it? I'm going to write it like, first of all, we are going to write it with this guy, which is movie. All right. So this movie is getting this movie ID. All right. This movie is getting this guy. All right, which is our key. All right, we just put it here. Okay, and then is keying to what? It's keying to struct. So we are going to be using our movie guy here. All right, and so this movie guy is our variable type, and then what is it getting? It's getting this is our input title and director name. Okay, title and director name. I'm gonna close this. Okay, so all right, so we've got that right, and then so we've set up our inputs. Now it said deploy the contract and update the movie map. So for you to update the movie map, you should actually write a get function for it. All right, so we are going to write a function. We are going to call it get movie. All right, so the reason why I did not put this function is so that I wanted to test if at least we should know what to do. You understand, even without being told. You understand, you set up something, the contract, You have to write a contract to get it. Okay, because if you deploy this contract like this, it's going to run very well, but you're only going to be having input field, and when you store, there is no way to retrieve it. So you write a function to retrieve it. Now, how we are going to write this function in a way that we are going to be imputing something and we're going to get something as an output. Okay, so when we write functions, so I told us that the first bracket when you're setting up your function is your input, while the second bracket is your output. Okay, so let's say so this one is what are we getting? What are we are using our movie ID as our input. So we are going to be using movie ID here as our input, movie ID as our input, and then public view returns. And then we are returning what? We are returning our output, which is struct. Okay. Now you're putting in your input and your output is the data type of your output. Okay. Your input is your input and its data type, then input name and data type. Your output is your data type, the output of the data type. Okay, a data type of your output. All right, so we are going to be using our data type is struct because we want to use this our movie ID to get to fetch name and director. Okay, so and this name and directors are of the data type movie, which we created using struct. And so we are going to be using movie, but this time this movie is going to be stored in memory. All right, and the reason why we are storing this in memory is because we're only going to be using this guy when we use the function. Like it's only when we call this function we are going to be using this guy. And then very simple, just return this guy that we created here, like this guy that we created here now. Understand? We said that this guy is equal to this guy. So when we call this guy will appear. All right, we just say return, and then we return our movie and movie ID. Okay, so that's it. Okay, let's run this guy. So we just did, and no error at all. So let's run this guy. So let's deploy, and you see that our contract has been deployed successfully. And oh, we deployed the wrong contract again today. Sorry, we are my movie is what we are deploying. Sorry. So we deployed my movie. Okay, so come here and then we'll see that we have movie ID, we have movie title, we have director. All right, so this movie ID is going to be number one. So
Death Note.
okay, that's note.
Director Mr. Samuel.
Director Mr. Chidera. Okay, so our first movie is Death Note, director Mr. Chidera. All right, so store that. Then number two movie is
Shipwreck.
oh, Shipwreck. Okay. Director.
Mr. Samuel, you've not written Mr. Samuel.
Mr. Mrs. Number 3.
Titanic, mapping Titanic.
So what waiting for your head now? Horror movie and love movie. Now for your head. And then
That's what this assignment is all about, destruction.
Kemi is the one directing this movie. Nice one. Then number 4. Let's get okay. Lastly, number
Things
4.
fall apart. Things
Okay,
fall apart.
that one too long. Give me a short one.
Lisabi.
Is that what?
Lisabi.
Misabi.
Lisabi. Lisabi.
Lisabi. Lisabi.
It's not my Yoruba.
All right.
Latif.
Latif.
Latif Ogumola. That's the director.
Latif.
Sir, you are
Ogun.
not Yoruba at all.
At all.
Ah, the Latif is not Latifi.
Should I say
EEF. No.
Latif? Spell it. Spell it. Spell it.
LATEEF.
Lateef.
TEEF.
Okay. Latif Ogunmola. Okay, it's all right. All right. So let's retrieve everything we've that was stored so far. So we've stored 4 movies in our store. So if I put number 3 and get the movie, I'm going to see Titanic by Kemi. If I put number 1, I'm going to see Death Note by Mr. Chidera. If I put number 4, I'm going to see Lasibi by Latif Ogumola. If I put number 2, I'm going to see Shipwreck by Miss Christabel. All right, so that's it. We've stored, and then for us to retrieve this plenty information, we'll just use our key to retrieve these 2 information using our mapping. Any question? Any question so far?
I don't really get to. Don't let me lie.
I- 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 Sorry, that what?
I don't really get to. Not like I'm not like I was in last class. I understand, but not like I get it like that. What you wrote.
Okay, Kemi, I saw your hand.
Yes, sir. So in my solution, I don't know if I'm the one who overcomplicated everything, but I declared a local variable. So rather than going straight into movie brackets, movie underscore movie ID, I first did I first declared the local variable. So I said movie memory film. Then I wrote okay, movies bracket, the title and director name. So the right hand side, yes, was correct, but my left hand side, rather than going straight, I just did movies memory film, like I declared a local variable. Then I now came again in the next line and I wrote the what you have on your left hand side here equals film. So I think I just like went the long route by declaring a local variable.
Okay, so did you write struct?
Yes, I did.
You wrote struct.
Yes, everything is correct. Like everything I did was correct down to your last line.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, remember when I see everything here is interconnected, the principle still remains. The reason why we said that movie ID here is equal to this, and we could come here in another function and say return this guy is not is because this guy, this movie here, is movie ID itself is declared first inside this function. But you see this guy, this map here, this mapping here, okay, this movie ID, this map that we put inside this movie ID is here. This guy here is here. Okay. So remember when I was teaching us variables, I said that local variables, anything that is declared outside the function is state-wise. Could be state, it could be state-wise, okay? Now, global variables, you don't have to even declare it. You can declare it anywhere in the contract and root it out anywhere in the contract. It's an inbuilt variable for Solidity. Solidity inbuilt variables. Now, when we created this guy, we can just come here and return it and said, okay, whatever we've created in this function, just give us back here. All right. All together.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's assume that we don't understand. Let's assume we let's assume we understand. Okay. Let's assume we don't understand. Let's assume okay, let's do another example today. Yeah. If you check your course outline, you see storage factory. Okay, so we want to use that example and then let's create something. Um, let's just play around with something. Okay. I will come and create a new file here. All
Sorry,
right.
please, sir, can I quickly ask something?
Yeah, please do.
Sorry, please, just I just wanted to ask this movie ID that you have to throw inside the array. Like,
Yeah.
why is it that you are calling only that one? Like, writing the other title, director name, and all, and you have to put those other one outside.
Okay. Let me explain it very well for you. You see, um, this movie ID, these guys here, this input here are of no data type. They are all normal data type, like the uint data type, the string data type, the unsigned integer data type, and all that. Okay, that we received all of them as the input. But you see this movie ID, this title here, and this director name here. We are assigning it to this guy, this struct here. Okay, so when we say movie here, we are saying that these two inputs that we put here as strings, they are actually movie data type. You understand? This is the data type. You understand? And then we now put this movie ID inside this array. Now, when you are writing this guy, it's just like saying that when you write here, uint and movie, meaning that meaning that movie ID is key that directs us to the data type movie. And movie as a data type has just two values, which is name and director. Okay, so when you when we what we do here is that we are saying that these guys here, this movie title and director name, they are we are getting them, we are getting the information, we are saving these guys in the struct. Okay, that's what we said here. And then the movie ID, we are saving it as key. So this movie ID now is going to be linking us to our director name and title. So that's why we said that this guy is equal to this. So when we call movie ID, you understand, we are going to impute movie ID. Look at the logic here. We are going to impute movie, all right? We are going to impute movie ID and then get movie. In the sense that our input here is movie and our output here, our input here is movie ID and our output here is movie. Why? Because we said that movie ID is equals to movie here. That's just the general logic. But the in-depth logic here is that this guy here is of the array, like is of this guy, this array here that we just created here, this mapping here. And we are saying that this mapping is going to link us to this struct. That's what we said here initially. That's what we said here, that a number is going to link us to the struct here. So that's why we said that this movie, which is this guy, is this guy, and this guy is going to be equal to this guy. Am I even explaining this thing very well, or am I confusing you anymore?
So I think I'm understanding it now.
Glory be to God. All right. Who else is understanding it now? Hmm? Okay, so so let's just play. Let's play around. Let's play around. Okay. So let's call this guy simple storage, like we said we are going to write simple storage. So
So is this another topic or scheme mapping?
this is another. This is not okay. We're going to be using mapping here. We're going to be using everything we've learned so far here. Okay. All right. So say simple storage. So all right. So let's write our SPDS. Definitely, they are going to complete it for us, and then okay. So can you hear me? Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's assume let's go back to what we learned first in Okay, so let us go back to what we've learned so far. Okay, let us let's go back to what we've learned so far. Let's see what we've done. All right. Sorry, I was checking something. Sorry. Shit. Oh man, sorry about that. Okay, so I let's go back to what we learned earlier. Okay, sorry for that. Um, let's assume we want to store and receive numbers. All right, so all right, so the six, and let's call this guy my favorite number. All right, so this is where we're going to be storing our favorite number. All right, so we've declared this guy as a state variable, and this is a dynamic variable. Why? Because it's not we've not declared anything on it. If we say that this guy is equal to 56, all right, we'll we've we've instantiated it. Okay, we've initialized it to 56. But if we keep it open, that means we can store more data in it. Okay, so we can store more data in it. All right, so we can write a function to say let's store our favorite number and say let's call this on um let's call it on store. All right, so we can get our inputs. Hope I'm not fast. We can get our inputs, my favorite number, and then make it public. All right, so make it public, and so just say so how do we create our stuff here? So we can say that my favorite number is equal to favorite number. Okay, so all right, so if we save this, excuse me, sorry. All right, so if you save this, you can just come back here and just write a function like we did the other time. Function say let's call this guy retrieve. My retrieve correct? Okay, let's call it retrieve, and then this one is not having any input, so we're going to say public view returns, and it's going to be returning uint. All right, so I just come and say return. What are we returning? We're returning this our state variable. So say my favorite number. So if we run this, we see that we deploy, see that our contract has been deployed. Okay, so can store 56. All right, and then we have 56. You can store 66. So we have 66. If we retrieve 66, you can store 20,000, and then we'll retrieve it. You see that we have 20,000. Okay, so that is that for storing and storing variables and getting variables. The same thing we did here. Okay, the same logic we did here. All right, now this is not a new topic. Okay, I believe some of us can actually do this without stress. If you can't do this, let me see your hand up. What I just did now, if you cannot do it, let me see your hand up. Okay, just got that I will not send you out of my class. But why can't you do it? It is very simple. Like if you can write struct, if you can write arrays, then why can't you write this one? This one is very, very simple. Like this is the list. All right. I'm
Is it
actually,
me?
yes, it's you. You are the only one that raised your hand.
It's a
Unfortunately.
mistake.
Okay. Some mistake can go to hellfire. And then um so what if we, because if you notice this contract that we cannot retrieve our former numbers that we stored. You understand? We just, is it just a one time something? Like when I store 56 now, okay, I can't get 56 back. Understand? Let's say I store 56, if I 89. So how can I get back the 20,000 I put initially? How can I get back the 56 I put initially? All right. So
I think we can make use of arrays.
okay, beautiful. So we are going to making use of arrays. So let's optimize these contracts. Okay. So let's do it in a way that we assign these numbers to people. Okay. Let's we assign these numbers to people, and then we we get the people and their numbers by certain way. Okay, so we store people with their numbers, and I'll say everyone in this class have a favorite number, and then whenever we want to get a favorite number, we just go down and fetch a favorite number. Okay, so how do we do that? All right, so we can come and write struct. Okay, so can use struct, and
Can't
then
we do it without using struct?
yeah, we can't do it without using struct. The reason why we can't do it, I think I explained this to Rose in our last class. In our class when we were talking about mapping. Sorry, when we were talking about struct. I explained it to Rose that the reason why we can't do it without struct is because you cannot store variables of different data types inside an array. You understand? I don't know if you remember that we cannot store.
Sorry, I was thinking you said it's mapping we're using. All right, continue.
Okay. All right. So call these let's call this struct let's call it person. All right. So the person is going to The person is going to we're going to be getting the person's name and the person's favorite number. She. So let's get the person's name. This person is going to be string name, and then uint favorite number. All right, so let's do it this way. All right, so we're going to be writing a map and say mapping. We're going to be mapping these guys. So our key is going to be what? So how do we want to retrieve these people's number now? So we want to put in their name and then get in the number. You understand? We want to put in their name and then we're going to retrieve the number. Remember, we are storing number, okay? But we want to use their name to be getting the number. All right, so we're going to use string, and the string is going to be mapping sorry, it's going to be mapping units. All right, so we're going to call this map how do we call this map now? How do we call this map? Let's call this map name to favorite number. Okay, so let's remember to close. All right, so and okay, so let's create an array so that we can save these guys inside the array. All right, so we can save these guys inside the array. But remember how we create arrays. Yeah, we're going to be using this guy, and then we're going to create an array. I'm going to call this guy list of people. All right, so my setup. Okay, so we're going to call in this guy this array list of people. All right, so let us create a function to save this name and favorite number. Okay, so let's create a function to save this name and favorite number. Let's call this one function. Let's call this function um get number or get name. Okay, let's call it get.
Get details.
Sorry,
Get details.
get details. Okay, let's try get details. This one too long. Let me just use get num and pass. Okay, let me use get num and pass. Okay, all right. So what are the inputs we are going to be getting here? Let me hear from you.
Int and strings.
Hmm.
You int and strings.
Okay, so we are going to be first of all. Let us add. Should we? Okay, let's get our names. Let's get our name. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, sort of get name. Let's be add people, add people. Understand? Now what we are doing is that we want to add people to our array. So before we get anything, let us add people to the array. Understand? Okay. All right. So now this is where it's going to get interesting because in this add we are going to be um adding people to our array, and then we are also um going to be mapping. All right. So it's very, very simple. So let's get our inputs. What are the inputs we'll be needing? We'll be getting um our name and our favorite number. Okay. So let's get our name. So we have string. All right. Okay. So all right. Remember how to push. Remember what I explained to us on how to push data into our arrays. Abby? Abby not first remember. Excuse me. I'm not first remember. Oh, okay. So let's do it together. I want to go. Oh yeah. What should I write here?
Person dot push person bracket.
Is that I didn't hear you. Let's do it. Want to go?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Say what?
Person.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the spelling of person.
Sorry, ma. Sorry, ma.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Then brackets.
Okay.
Not the brackets. That bracket. Array brackets.
Okay.
Then dot push. Is it
Oh,
correct? No, no. Outside the brackets.
wait. I'm following your instruction, ma. Okay,
Sorry,
dot
sir.
push. Okay.
And your comma be your column, semicolon. I think this I should be.
Okay. This I should be. All right.
There
Okay.
should I don't know, they think there should be whatever you are returning inside this particular bracket, what maybe the name or whatever you want to probably return, like from this. I think your name. I don't know what you want to return.
Okay. All right. So um this one will not work. So let me comment it. But just know that this one is Bueller's line of code. Okay, let me run it so that you see that it's not going to work. Okay, so you see that it's not going to work. Push not found. All right, it's not going to work. So who else can help me?
I think I don't know if I'm getting it correct, but
Okay,
I think we'll do person dot push, then we'll now push it into the array, which is I think list of people. I
Person
don't know
dot
how to write it, but I know that's what's happening.
person dot push
Then push it into the array.
How is it into the array? How am I going to push it into the array? Should I push it from the back or push it from the front? Eh? How am I going to push it from the array? If I push it, you are pushing me. Oh.
So anyhow, just push it inside the array. I know that it will work like that.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so how we do it is that what's the name of your array? The name of your array is list of people, yeah? So we said list of people dot push. That's it. Okay. So what are we pushing? Um we are pushing person. Okay. So say person. And so what is person? Okay, I think is what Peter wanted to do. Is okay, person. So who is person? Person is these guys here. All right. So we are pushing the name and favorite number. All right. So that's it. You're done. This is syntax we've been
I
trying to.
almost got it now.
Yeah, you almost got it. You're pushing it too much. And then we'll now do our mapping. Okay. We can now map now. We can now say that this name to favorite number is the name of our map, yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember, remember that. Excuse me.
Is this inside the same function we're going to map? I thought it's another function.
No, the same function. All right, let's write it. If it doesn't work, we'll put it in another function. Okay, do we agree? Okay.
Anything you say, sir.
All right. Name to this our favorite number now. Name to favorite number. All right. So um, and it is. So we said that we are using string Abby. This is going to be name now, and is equal to, and its name is going to give us. It's linking us towards favorite number. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Control X, and it worked very well. So let's write a function to get what we just did. Okay, so let's get details. It's not actually details though because we are getting just number. So let's say get number. All right. So let's go and do those things we want to do. Remember what we did here. Remember what we did here. Okay. So let's do it. If we understand this line of code, what should I write here?
Name to fave number. Fave num.
Sorry, say what?
Like the mapping name.
Okay, so
The
since we are using um this thing name to get uh our number, so our input is going to be what?
String.
Strings, string memory, and number, yeah, name, yeah.
Yes. Public view return. Uint.
What are we returning?
Uint now.
So I didn't get you.
Units now.
We are returning you in. God bless you. All right. Now I will answer a question. So let's get ready to reply. All right. So what are we
Let me
returning?
mute my mic.
All right. But your voice is the last voice I heard, Sha. So take note. So what are we returning? We are
We're
returning.
returning my. We're returning person.
We are not returning person at all. We are returning this guy. Remember what we did here now. Remember how we did it? We said this guy is equal to this guy, and we return the left hand side here. You understand? Because that's the key. So we are going to be returning the key.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going
I'm
to
going
be
to return name to favorite.
name to favorite. Yeah, and then it doesn't end there now. So name. Okay. So we're going to save this and see what we've done so far. So let us create let's deploy. Okay, so this is what we did first. We can just store numbers and get it back. All right. But we advanced it to where we can store names. Let's say Helen, and let's call it 50. Let's say 20. All right. What's your name and your favorite number? Oh yeah, yeah. Speed fast, speed fast.
Chidera 12.
Okay. See, there are 12. All right. Who's next? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Fast. I'm not hearing anybody. Okay, let me give you anybody favorite number. I can hear you.
Beulah.
Beulah. What's your favorite number?
One.
Am I spelling your name
One
correctly?
K.
Yes.
Okay.
Spirit.
One. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So who else? Delight. What's your favorite number? I'll give you a favorite. I'll give favorite
8.
number. Who asked you? Okay. And then no, let me use Kemi this time.
14.
Okay. All right. So let's retrieve our names. Okay. So Chidera says our number is I did not spell Chidera correctly. Okay, sorry. Caps. Said our name is 12. Our number is 12. Kemi says our number is 14. The light says our number is oh, I did not spell the light well. Says our one is 8. Okay. Bila said okay. And Eileen said, which is not here, and number is 20. So you see that every time we put in the person's name, the number comes out. Why? Because we we um linked our we mapped our name to our favorite number. To answer a question, in this guy movie movie here, But in this guy, we did not return movie. We return uint. Why?
Come again, sir.
Eh?
Come again. I didn't hear the question you asked.
The question is, in this mapping, when we were returning our map, what we mapped, when we return getting our function, we return movie, which is struct. We return movie. Let me highlight it so that you see for yourself. We return movie. You see that movie, you understand? We return the struct variable type movie. But we got to this place and we return uint. Why?
The other one we're using number to get name. Why this one we're using name to get number?
But even if we do it the other way around and say number, like number now is to name, eh? You see in this contract that if I change it now and said the name, that means the add memory.
So I'm not hearing what you're saying. No.
Don't stress me. I said that if the and here is string, here is memory, sorry, here is uint, and here is string. Okay, that means we are using numbers to get our name now. All right, that means this place is going to be string memory, not uint, and the code is still going to run very well. Why? The question is, why are we not using person here? Like this person will use as struct. Why are we not using it here?
Okay. I think the
The way we
first one we
used
are
it here.
returning. Wait, I think the first one, right? We are returning both the we're returning both the name of the movie and we're returning two different what I call it for variable now. We're returning both an integer and
Data types.
I think we're returning yeah, two different data types. We're returning the director name and the name of the movie or something.
Uh,
That's why we're using the struct, um, the name of the struct. That's why we're using it. But this one, we're only returning one. Is that it? I don't know.
Smart move. Okay. Yeah. I give you 70% on it. Give you 70 over 100.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yes, Kemi. Yula. Oh, you guys are clapping now. Okay.
Oh, no, I think that sorry. I think
Yeah.
because our inputs abi what was this first thing? Our key is inside the struct and our value is also inside the struct. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know if I'm
Okay. Okay.
In case I wanted to ask earlier too, but I'm still also thinking maybe that's the reason. Maybe like your key and your value, you had string this time around, and you had your hints this time around as the value. Like the other time when we did it, it was not like that. You wrote string, then you wrote movie and all. So like I don't understand that based on. I'm thinking maybe that's well.
Okay. You have used confusion to get the answer. But that's it. Okay. Now the it's not difficult, okay? It's not difficult to grasp. What you write here is that the one on the left is going to be the input, the one on the right is going to be the output, and whatever data type you put here is going to be the data type that will be that you are returning. because that is what you set up in your mapping, that that's what you're going to be returning. Okay, so if we had put person here, okay, person would have been here. All right, but we are not returning the whole person. Okay, so that's why we are not putting person. We are just returning. In fact, the key and the value are all inside person. Sorry for the break. Um, all right. Can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just okay. So,
I can hear you little by little.
okay. All right. So, as I was saying that the reason why we use uint here is because that's what we declared in our mapping. That's what we're going to be. That's what's going to be the output, and the input is going to be string. Okay. So this is going to be the outputs, and this string here is going to be the inputs associated. So we understand.
I want to ask a question, sir. Can I ask a question, sir?
Please do, please do, please do. Answer me a question.
Okay, so in the case where in the struct we had probably more than two units or probably multiple units or something, several data type, and we want to, so how does mapping get to work in this in that area? Do you get my question, sir?
I do. So that's what we did here. Let's see. Okay, we want to get more than one data type. Yeah. Let's say we are getting I gave us an assignment. Think I gave us an assignment, struct assignment. I don't know if we I gave us a struct assignment. When we did struct, I we had an example like that where we can get more than one let me see. Okay, I just wanted to take us back to what we've learned so far. So we learn from what we already know to what we don't know. All right, so all right, so we now so let's assume that we want to here the same way we did. Um, we can get okay. This is age. Okay, this is age. This is number. This age. This number and all this stuff. So we want to get a key. All right, key. We want to call it student ID. Say that we create mapping here. Can you see a hand up?
Your network is a bit poor, like it's breaking.
So please pay
I can't
attention.
hear you properly, sir.
Pay attention, please. Alright,
And I
assume
can't see
that
your
we
screen.
you can't see my screen.
It's breaking.
Oh, Chimbo network. Can you see my screen? If you can see my can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So let's create mapping. Let's call this mapping. Let's say that and now we are going to be you see that this structure has multiple variables here, variable types. Okay. Understand? This one has multiple variable types. She gets. So how do
No, no, sir, I'm coming. I'm not saying multiple variable type. Like if I had string, uint, like about two same data type or three same data type in that particular struct, would that still be used? Like would the particular method you use, like string, the key is string, then the value is there, you're mapping it to the value uint, because this time around there'll be several, so which one would it pick? You get me?
okay, I get you. Let me see if I really get you. So let's assume that we have the same data type here. Abi? Okay, let's say let me come here. Okay, let's say that we have um student ID. Okay, let's assume that we have what we call student ID, Abi. So let's impute student ID here. Okay, so this is unit two, Abi. We have more than one unit here. Are we together? Is that your question?
No. Let me explain myself very well. Inside your structs, you have
Okay,
string
inside your
name.
struct.
Inside your struct, you have string name, you have string director, you have string probably string maybe string something something that is string. Then another one you have uint age, uint number, uint something something. Then in the particular example that you did for us now, you returned in your mapping, you now the string returning mapping it to uint. But this time around,
So I
this
think
one,
you,
this particular question, this particular example is just one string, one unit. So it was very easy to like map it directly. So in this area you have double string or probably multiple string type like string name, string something, unit something. So how would the mapping be able to pick? Is it this time around? I don't know if you
No,
still
no,
get.
yeah, I get you. The mapping is not picking anything. You are the one telling the mapping was to pick. Okay, look at the syntax.
So let's use that last example we used.
I'm on the last example. Like look at this example, for example. You see that we said that this guy is going to bring you in, but we did not just throw it off air. Understand? We declared it here that this is the integer is going the output is going to give us here. And we said that even if we have different types of inputs, but we are mapping this guy to this guy. Okay, let's assume that we have um age, for example, and then we'll come here and say hmm? Okay, so this guy to let's push age as well. All right. Now, do we have more than one unit here? Is this your question?
Yes, I'm getting you, sir.
Good.
I'm
We have more than one user. We have the same um data type here, and we said that it's going to return units, and we have age and favorite number here. So which of them are we returning? We specifically said it here that it's going to return favorite number. Now this favorite number, this is this line here. Here. Eh? Favorite number. We are going to return favorite number, and this favorite number is the unit. So when we deploy this contract now and we put in the number, is the name is going to return favorite number, is not going to return age. Are we together? Do you understand?
So if you want it to return age now, we're going to change that favorite number to age.
Age. Exactly. Now my question back to you now. What if you want to return
if you have to return it too,
you want to return age and favorite number? How are you
you're
going to
gonna probably put it into the brackets back, person, the favorite number, comma age. Would it work like that?
is that what? Okay.
I'm thinking.
Like this. Okay, like this. Now you guys are not thinking like programmers. If this one is going to work, eh? It's not going to work. Mbano, it's not going to work. Why?
So
Because
remove
Like
your cursor,
the
let me
person
see
in
it.
front of it and call. Won't
is
you
that
put the
what?
person? Aren't we gonna put the person in front of it, like the
Okay.
person?
Let me do what no you are anything you said, ma. Anything you say, ma. Mbano, it's not going to work.
Okay, so what will work?
I'm asking you now what will work.
I think you did something like that the other example for movie that we
Exactly.
returned. Those
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm trying to remember what you returned.
Okay.
I think
So
you return person, I don't know.
okay. Now you see that if we if we want to do that, for us not to complicate the whole issue, all right, so let me for us not to complicate the whole issue, okay, so if we want to return more than one values, okay, let's assume that we want to return more than one values, all right, Let's assume that let's create another contract. Okay, I want to show you something. Let's say we contract, all right, and then this contract is let's call it get details. For example, this one is just for us to understand. I'll create a struct. Let's call this struct um um personal. All right, so this personal is going to get your age, your name. All right, it's going to get your country. You're going to get your name. Let's get your age. All right, and then um course, name of course. Okay, let's say um program. That means what you are learning. Okay, so this is your this thing, your age. This is your personal this thing, that when you are filling the form, it will take your age, your this thing. Okay, so if um and come and get your, okay, let me get your, let's do it this way. Let me get your name, string, and country.
Surname.
No, leave surname first. Let's get string, your name and your country. Let's create another struct. Let's call it um um what will I call this guy now? Ah, students. Let's call this one student, for example. So this student is going to get your ID, and this one is going to get your ID. All right. So call this one ID. Person, student, ID. All right. So let's assume that we want to write a mapping to map this guy now. Eh?
So you didn't close that student ID.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. So want to map this, if we want to map these guys now, all right. Let's say we want to map these two. What are we going to do? We are going to say mapping. Let's say, for example, mapping, and we are going to map what's going to be our key. Our key is going to be students, Abby, and our this thing is going to be personal. That is not correct. All right, so what are we going to name our mapping? What did we name this mapping? Name to students, Abby, name to favorite number. Let's call this one students to personal. Okay, so write a function. Let's say call it get students. Now you see that when we want to get this done now, we are going to get all your inputs. We're going to be inputting everything. We're going to be inputting our name, our country, and our ID. All right. So our name is going to be string memory name. Okay. Um, country, Abi, and then
Student ID should be in a fillable format or something.
okay, sorry. Okay, so um that's it. So let's map. So let's map it and then let's retrieve it so we'll see how to do it. So we already know how to map it here. We use this student to personal, and then we're going to create our map, and then our map is what? Our map is what? Student ID, Abi? Student ID. All right. And also, we are saying that this student ID is what? Remember what we did in our mapping, okay? When when we mapping this guy to this guy, all right? When we're mapping this guy to this guy, we say that this guy is this guy. All right. So when you are mapping
These
this guy, you
guys,
have eh?
I have a lot of guys here.
That's what I'm saying now. When you're mapping this guy to this guy, you say that this one here now is this guy. Let's go back to this guy. Let's see. Yes, our
So please,
example.
can we stop using the guy? Let's just use their name so that I will not be confused. Please, ah.
Sorry, no verse. Sorry, sorry. I'm a guy man, no verse. Sorry. Okay, so um person here. This person now is country. I think this guy is going to give me error because yeah, and it's going to give me error. So the reason why it's giving me error is because I'm mapping student ID and I created this guy. So let's see if we can call this guy. All right, let me see my error. No, Okay, let me see. Okay. Here's where my problem is now. Okay. Okay, so let me use it. All right. So if I'm going to do it like this, yes. Okay, so we are going to be getting student ID. So student ID is student. So ID public view returns. Now, what am I returning? What am I returning? I'm returning this guy here, personal. So personal. And then, okay, sorry. I can say, I can say return this guy. All right, Control X. Oh, sorry. Okay, so if I deploy this guy, let me deploy get details. Okay, if I deploy this guy and come and put name. The student's name is let's name is Messi. Okay, age is 26 and student ID is 1.
That's country, oh. Country, you put 26.
Oh, sorry. Let's say country Nigeria. And then, so if I put 1, I'm going to get Messi Nigeria. Okay, so let's say,
Chidera from Canada.
all right, Chidera from
Canada.
Somalia, number 2. You want to go to Canada, they play. So you see Chidera from some Somalia. We have Kemi.
So that's not what I ordered, oh.
Oh, that's what you got now. Kemi from Libya. Maybe I should stop playing.
So you don't want any of your students to make it outside the country.
Is Libya not outside the country? Is Somalia not outside the country? What is that?
No, no, not that's not outside the country. That one you can use broom and stick and fly to that place. But the one you can use airplane, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so anything outside your country is abroad. If Christabel should leave Ghana and come to Nigeria, she have traveled abroad. Eh? So that's it. So Somalia is abroad, Libya is abroad, Israel is abroad, well, Palestine is abroad. Here they are fighting war. Iraq is abroad. Not only Canada and Paris and Dubai that's abroad. Eh? Plus, this life should be balanced. All right, so we see what we've done so far. I believe if you don't understand this guy, you followed me to understand this guy. Now I forgot something, and I want to remind us is that your key, your value can be anything, but your key must be um uint, bool, string, address. Okay, specific data type. Then your value can be anything. Remember when I was teaching us mapping, I said something here. I think I wrote it in the notes. I said that um key can be string, uint, or bool, but value can be anything. String can be uint, string can be, sorry, I was trying something, but string can be key can be variables, specific variables, but your value can be anything. So you can map. So you see that when we try to map a struct to a struct, it did not work. Okay. So we now decide to map something inside the struct. Now, you see the beautiful thing, this one I want to show you. You can have more than 3 values here, safe. You can even have uh, age here. You can even say we have age here. Understand? But it is what you call as to mapping. It's what you call that will map this guy. If I say age here now, the age is going to give us everything here. Let's say I have some data here and I said I want to get this data. Understand? I can get this data. Sure you understand? I can use this guy now. I can use a particular key and get this data. I can say I can write 3 strokes. I can write different strokes, okay, and then declare state variables outside these strokes. Understand? I'm just showing you our time is up, so I'm just showing you some logic. Let's say we created a struct here. We created another struct of different informations. You understand? And I want to be getting this information. So I said that if I put in your name, you understand, if I put in this particular your student ID, I should get this information. If I put in your country, I should get this information. So I can write mapping for that. I can write a particular mapping for this. I can write a particular mapping for that. Now I can write mapping for both of them. I can say that I can map a particular key to this. Understand? I can map a particular key to this, and then map. Okay, I can map this particular struct to a key, and then map that mapping inside another mapping. That's what they called nested mapping. Okay, so nested mapping looks like this. Okay, nested
Please,
mapping.
can we not do that this night? Because before our head will break, will burst.
Oh, okay, sorry, but we understand what, sorry, but we understand what's going on so far here, Abby. We understand
Yes, sir.
we understand what happened here, Abby.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. So what I want you to do is that when you after this class, go and try it. Okay. Go and try it. Go and play with it. Try to create a struct. Try to create a state variable and try to link that variable to that struct and get your answer. Just play with it. Probably you can do like a bookstore. Yeah, you store books, probably the book and the author, the book title and the book author, and then you have this the chef number, the bookstore number or the book ID or something like that. So when you put in that book, it gets you the total details of the book, or you put in the name of the book, it's going to get you the ID and the author and all that. You understand? Okay, so just go and play with it. Okay, so we playing with something like this, and then I hope you understand. I think I've explained enough for us to understand how how mapping work and how arrays work as well. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, like, do you push
Thank
all
you,
this to
sir.
GitHub, sir? Like, by chance, can we get the code?
Is that what?
Can we get the code? Like, maybe on your GitHub or something?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
even if they didn't post the video, just like send the code to the group chat.
all right, no wala. I'll do that now.
Mm,
All together.
thank you, sir. But sir, like even previous codes, like I've noticed because I've been missing some classes and I was trying to check what you had written and I don't think I want to watch all those videos again. I don't know, maybe we can push it to your GitHub so we can be looking at it once in a while when we need to check through like
Yes,
something.
yes, yes. I was actually let me stop recording. Sorry.